Parties, of course, meeting for the first time in court today. It was about a 90-minute hearing.
This isn't going to end well for you, Blake. Sorry.
In a world where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
I'm just going to tell you, you're going to have to wait and see. It's coming up soon.
Justin Baldwin defeated Blake Lively in just 90 minutes. And let's just say that was enough to send Blake and her legal team into a full-blown panic. Was this the final verdict? No, but it was a significant step in determining how this case would proceed. And honey, the way things are going, it doesn't look good for Blake. If you haven't been following along, here's the rundown. Justin Baldwin was not going to take Blake Lively's shocking $250 million lawsuit accusing him of harassment lying down, so he retaliated with an even larger lawsuit, a $400 million countersuit, charging Blake with extortion and defamation.
Actor-director Justin Baldoni is now suing his former co-star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, seeking more than $400 million in damages, accusing them of defamation and extortion.
And now they are in court, and believe me, this is going to be one of the most messy legal battles in Hollywood history. As soon as the court hearing began, Justin's attorney, Brian Fredman, arrived, prepared for combat, and let me tell you, this man was on a mission. Since this is the same man who openly promised to sue Blake into oblivion, Blake's legal team was obviously unhappy with his aggressive behavior. And really, who could blame them? Will you sue Blake Lively into oblivion as well? Blake's attorneys were so shaken by his behavior in court that they attempted to use a gag order to silence him, but the judge wasn't having it today. Megan and he seemed to mean every word.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan.
The judge decided against Blake's team, stating that it would be totally unjust to silence Fredman because her attorneys had been as outspoken in the media. Suddenly, Justin's side won their first game of the day, but Blake's situation just became worse. Blake's legal team didn't stop there. They continued to criticize Fredman for being overly talkative, claiming that his frequent media appearances and interviews were making it hard for them to reply promptly.
Judge chose to not impose the gag order on Justin Baldoni's attorney Brian Friedman today, but did threaten to move up the trial if the media press war continued.
Blake's lawyers were furious when they discovered that Justin Baldoni wasn't only fighting the case in court, but was also taking it online. Every time they attempted to respond to something he said, he was already on to the next big revelation, leaving them rushing to keep up. However, the judge didn't even care. He shut down that argument, allowing Friedman to continue speaking freely about the case. Blake's lawyers were furious that Justin had created a website devoted to the case, where he intended to upload evidence such as video receipts and lawsuit documents.
Blake Lively's lawyer does not like Brian Friedman and says he is being way too chatty about this case to the public, giving them little wiggle room to respond in the court of the public opinion.
They claimed that this was completely inappropriate, but Fredman wasn't going to let them get away with it, so he retaliated forcefully, reminding everyone that Blake had used the media to air her accusations. First, she went to the New York Times, and guess what? She gave Justin just 12 hours to respond before they published the story, tarnishing his reputation before he could even get a word out.
Baldoni's team launched a new website over the weekend, featuring an amended legal complaint and a 168-page timeline of events, including newly released text messages allegedly sent between the embattled stars of It Ends With Us, as well as Lively's husband, actor Ryan Reynolds. One alleged text from Reynolds to Baldoni expresses his excitement about It Ends With Us, writing, "This is going to be incredible. I happen to adore you, Justin."
Blake's attorneys pleaded with the judge to allow her to select who would question her during the deposition, obviously hoping to avoid Fredman, but the judge wasn't playing games and declared that Blake does not get to select who deposes her. If Blake could use the media to present her side, why couldn't Justin make that argument loud and clear? The judge again decided in Justin's favor.
The lawyer also brought up the website that was put out this weekend, saying Blake's lawyer also complained about Justin Baldoni's new website dedicated to the case, telling the judge they think this is improper. Brian Friedman, his lawyer, defended this by saying that Blake's team is doing the same thing, citing the New York Times article where Blake first made her sexual harassment claims against Justin. He says the paper only gave Justin 12 hours of notice.
And that very moment sent shockwaves through her legal team. Their faces were filled with frustration, because let's face it, they understood exactly what this meant. For those who are unaware, a deposition is when someone is questioned under Oath and everything they say can be used in trial. This means that there is no room for storytelling or sidestepping difficult questions, and based on Blake Lively's team's frantic attempts to avoid it, it is clear that she is not prepared to take on Fredman head-on. Let's discuss what that actually means. If Blake Lively is so confident in her accusations, why is she afraid of a deposition as if he were the boogeyman? Her legal team is making every possible excuse to keep Fredman away from her. But if she is speaking the truth, shouldn't she be happy to sit down, answer the questions, and let the facts speak for themselves?
Counsel for Miss Lively has made it clear that Miss Lively does not want Mr. Friedman to be the attorney who takes her deposition. We are unaware of any situation that would warrant the deposed party to have a choice in which attorney takes her deposition. Parties to litigation simply do not have the right to decide which of the other opponent's attorneys may or may not take their deposition or perform any other aspects of the opposing party's case. And essentially, the judge agreed and told her lawyer that she does not get to choose who deposes her.
And that very moment sent shockwaves through her legal team. Their faces were filled with frustration because, let's face it, they understood exactly what this meant. For those who are unaware, a deposition is when someone is questioned under oath and everything they say can be used in trial. This means that there is no room for storytelling or sidestepping difficult questions. And based on Blake Lively's team's frantic attempts to avoid it, it is clear that she is not prepared to take on Fredman head-on. Let's discuss what that actually means. If Blake Lively is so confident in her accusations, why is she afraid of a deposition as if he were the boogeyman? Her legal team is making every possible excuse to keep Fredman away from her. But if she is speaking the truth, shouldn't she be happy to sit down, answer the questions, and let the facts speak for themselves?
Listen to me, Blake Lively. Tap out, call uncle right now. Please take my advice. I don't feel like I am like Octagon side, UFC fight, and you're like, oh my gosh, is this guy's neck gonna get snapped? Please just tap out, be done with this. Ref, please call Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds out. Just call this out. Because I'm telling you, they are not going to win this.
We're going to move as quickly as we possibly can and prove our innocence in a world where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
The judge added that since the two lawsuits have been consolidated into one, there would be a fiery courtroom discussion rather than a drawn-out back-and-forth legal battle. Showdown? And guess what? The trial is formally set for March 26th, unless they agree to a settlement beforehand. But let's be honest, if this case goes to trial, Blake is going to get into a lot of trouble. Furthermore, remember that this case is not just about the courts. It is also about public opinion, and the current course of events is already harming Blake's once immaculate reputation, and her fans have differing opinions about her. While people are starting to question why she is doing this, Justin is out. Here, the website is enough proof that he isn't giving up, and it's a really smart strategy, to be honest. To make sure he has all the proof he needs to repair his reputation and turn the tables on her, he is gathering receipts. After being attacked by Blake through the media, he is now retaliating online. This legal dispute has its roots in a sequence of incidents that transpired throughout the previous 12 months. It all began with some contentious remarks made by Blake Lively in an interview that appeared to subtly disparage Justin Baldoni. Numerous media sites carried these remarks, and the narrative quickly changed against Justin. He was subject to public scrutiny and criticism, which had a big effect on both his personal and professional lives. But Justin wasn't going to take this lying down. He decided to defend himself not only in the legal system, but also in the eyes of the public. Justin has used various tactics. He has been actively sharing his perspective on social media, offering proof that challenges Blake's assertions. Supporters who think he is innocent have gathered on his website, which is devoted to this legal battle. The website includes thorough chronologies, records, and testimonies that are intended to disprove Blake's claims one by one. In addition to uniting his supporters, this strategy has won over unbiased onlookers who value his openness and readiness to interact with the public. Blake Lively's camp, however, has remained comparatively silent. Although her legal team has made a few statements, they have been careful not to argue with Justin in public. Although this tactic is meant to preserve a certain amount of professionalism and decorum, it has also caused some of her admirers to feel alienated. They want Blake's side to provide more clarification and a more robust defense. Because of the stillness, there has been a lot of conjecture, with some people wondering if Blake has a strong case or if she is just trying to seem good. This case has important legal ramifications. Blake might have to pay out $400 million if she loses, which is a huge amount even by Hollywood standards. This sum exceeds Blake Lively's and her husband Ryan Reynolds' total net worth. Just the financial consequences might kill your career. A loss in this case would seriously harm Blake's reputation and credibility in addition to the financial cost. Given how erratic Hollywood can be, she might have trouble landing future parts or endorsement deals after such a high-profile loss. There may be serious repercussions for Ryan Reynolds as well, who has mostly avoided the spotlight on this issue. Although it is assumed that he supports her because he is Blake's husband, his silence on the matter has been deafening. Some people think he is deliberately waiting for the proper time to speak out, while others think he is attempting to disassociate himself from the scandal to safeguard his career. In any event, he will surely be impacted by the case's conclusion as well. In addition to being a significant blow to their combined finances, a $400 million loss might also change how the public views their relationship. Everyone wonders if Blake should think about settling the matter before it goes to trial. She might be able to avoid more public attention and financial disaster by apologizing and coming to an agreement. It would, however, also need her to acknowledge some degree of culpability, which may still harm her reputation. Blake's legal team is probably carefully considering all of the choices because it's a difficult balancing act. Conversely, Justin Baldoni appears committed to seeing this through to completion. He has been adamant in his public campaign and is certain that he can prove his innocence. For him, this is about holding Blake responsible for what he believes to be unfounded charges, as well as clearing his name. His followers respect his perseverance and are excited for the trial in the hopes that he will be found not guilty. Tension is evident as the trial date draws near. To influence the judge and jury in their favor, both parties are probably getting ready for their closing arguments and assembling any last-minute evidence. It is only anticipated that the media frenzy around the case would worsen, with both the public and commentators closely examining and evaluating each development. In a larger sense, this court case emphasizes the intricate relationships between public opinion and celebrity culture. In the current digital era, a single word or deed can have profound effects, and celebrities are always balancing upholding their moral principles with preserving their public persona. The verdict in this case may establish a standard for handling future conflicts between well-known people, both within and outside of the courts. Furthermore, the case brings up significant issues regarding how social media shapes public perceptions. Justin's self-defense tactics on the internet have been a masterclass in contemporary public relations. It illustrates how, despite strong opposition, social media may be used to effectively change public opinion. This approach might serve as a model for others in comparable circumstances, emphasizing the value of openness and direct communication with the public. It is evident that this legal battle is far from done as we await the trial. Before this is all over, there will probably be more drama, unexpected turns, and courtroom tantrums. Hollywood enjoys scandals, but it also enjoys winners, and Justin Baldoni is currently presenting himself as the underdog who is overcoming the odds. It will be interesting to watch if he succeeds or fails, but one thing is for sure: the tea is hot, and this drama is only beginning. As the trial progresses, stay tuned for further updates.